a doufám, že
Pustíme si mňuzičku, vole!
Essential video k iPhoneu.
Okay, paralysis, od tebe
Apple's
se podívám. Tak.
using titanium on their newest iPhone 15 Pro Max. Titanium is the coolest metal on the planet for many reasons. It's biocompatible.
Tak tohle jsem ani nevěděl, že tam je, vole.
Used for creating artificial joints, repairing human bones, not to mention build interstellar spacecraft and to construct robots that crawl other planets. And of course it's on my ring. My ring has titanium that I reclaimed from a wheelchair. Titanium comes in quite a few different flavors. Grade 1
Wheelchair, co?
being the cheapest, softest, and easiest to machine, which is what I thought the iPhone was going to be. But then Apple slapped a grade 5 on the screen and I got rocked, in more ways than one. And let me show you why. I happen to have some 1-inch titanium bar stock laying around, as people often do. This guy costs $170. For example, this 6061 aluminum bar of the exact same proportions only cost me $10. Aluminum is what smartphones are normally made from, and the color difference between the two metals is glorious to behold, especially as it's heated. You might have noticed that titanium reacts. Instead, we have a brand new braided USB-C cable. I imagine the world will soon follow Apple's lead on this one, and we'll start seeing this port everywhere. Probably the closest
Ano, je možný, že nový telefony teďka budou mít USB-C po vzoru Apple. Ano, to je možný. No.
we'll ever see to world peace. And honestly, the phone does feel good, about the same as any other rectangular phone, but the brushed titanium and the etched back glass do feel super cool. But the imitation blue shade is just ever so much off from the actual shade of blue titanium that I think it would bother me long term. Apple said again that this screen glass is the strongest glass ever on a smartphone. They call it ceramic shield, and I agree. It is a pretty solid slab of glass. We normally see plastic screens scratched at a level 2 or 3, glass at 5 or 6, and sapphire would be an 8 or 9. This dual ion exchange ceramic shield does still scratch at a level 6, with deeper grooves at a level 7, but level 6 does appear to be quite a bit more faint than usual. And I do think Apple is onto something with this proprietary glass. The front selfie camera is tucked into the dynamic island.
Přestaň dělat tohleto! Ty vole, to je úplně, to ne...
Of glass. The earpiece is a razor-thin slit between the glass and the frame. No speaker grills to fall out or get dirty. Making our way over to the titanium sides, Apple's using something called a PVD coating, a physical vapor deposition. It's a pretty wild method of applying an ultra-thin protective layer over the titanium. I don't know enough about PVD to talk about it in depth, but you know, it is scratchable. Exactly like the anodized aluminum. Everything except for this 5G antenna slot. For some reason this oval is just not scratching. I think they should make a whole phone out of whatever this stuff is. The power button is scratchable, however, and not removable, along with the top and entire left side. It took Apple 14 hours to apply this finish, and my jerry-rig knife 14 seconds to unapply the finish. The new action button is scratchable, and our USB-C port down near the bottom is an actual USB 3 with 10 gigabit transfer speeds. The regular iPhone 15 is just USB 2, and if you don't know what that means, you'll be just fine with either. The matte back glass, which every phone should have, does not scratch. The Apple logo in the center is the only thing that's smooth. One thing that Apple did change up quite a bit this year is with the camera. We still get that gradual gradient built into the tinted glass that rises up to the camera plateau. And some of these camera upgrades we won't be able to see until the teardown. But Apple says these 3 lenses that we can see are actually 7. Gotta LOL a bit at that absolute stretch. Here at the bottom we have a 48 megapixel main camera, which apparently has a nanoscale coating on the lens to reduce glare. The coating luckily does not scratch off or fracture. The coolest camera is definitely the middle one, a 12 megapixel 5x tetraprism telephoto lens that redirects and reflects light 4 times before hitting a 3D sensor shift OIS stabilizer. If there's one reason to take apart the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it's to see what in the world that looks like from the inside. Then up top we have a 12 megapixel ultrawide. Apparently, these two cameras on the edge can work together like two eyeballs to generate spatial video, which I don't want to be the guy to beat a dead horse, but that was something Android did 12 years ago with the HTC Evo 3D, probably before some of you kidlets with iPhones were even born. Gotta honor your ancestors. Apple said during their event that the back glass panel is easily removable to facilitate repairability, which is a huge commendable move. And then in the same sentence, Apple said that the internal structure of the iPhone 15 Pro Max is made from 100% recycled aluminum, which immediately tells us two things. One, it's nice to see that there's more than just the iPhone design that gets recycled every year. And two, the internal frame is not solid grade 5 titanium, only the exterior. This explains quite a bit. The iPhone 15 Pro Max has a 6.7-inch OLED display with 2000 nits of outdoor brightness and 120 Hz refresh rate, and lasts for about infinity seconds before having no reaction to my lighter. Nice work, Apple. We'll try out my big boy lighter in a second. It's time to see if the new blended aluminum titanium grafted hybrid structure compromises the structural integrity of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I did not see that one coming. You've been watching me durability test.
Kámo, můj spolužák, a on sem, nebo bývalý spolužák, on sem občas chodí na streamy, si pamatuju, když v září přišel do školy, že si koupil iPhone 7, nebo 6S to bylo, jako novej telefon a měl ho 2 dny a dal si ho do zadní kapsy a pak se na něj sednul. A ten telefon legit byl takhle jakoby vohnutej. Fakt byl vohnutej. A on ho nemohl narovnat, protože by mu to prasklo, takže on ho prostě zůstal takhle jako nahnutej, vole, to bylo... Protože mám v zadní kapse, některé holky si dávají telefon do zadní kapse, já taky nevím proč.
iPhone 15 Pro Max.
Ty vole. Ty...
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I did not see that one coming. You've been watching me durability test smartphones for about 11 years now, and most phones do not break. iPhones especially do not break, like ever. And that snap was abnormally quick. Kinda stunned. I'm not sure if it's because the grade 5 titanium frame has nearly 3 times more tensile strength than aluminum, or half the elasticity, but the glass did not like being pressed or flexed by my thumb. That's crazy. On the first bend, too. Internally, the phone itself is doing fine, of course. There's no cracking or shattering of the frame, but the back glass is definitely obliterated. Good thing Apple made the glass modular, so it only cost $200 to replace instead of $500, but still, if I was a person who just purchased a $1,200 titanium iPhone 15 Pro Max, I would be extremely nervous right now. Anyway, I did not plan on that happening, but you gotta admit, the crack looks pretty cool. The Apple iPhone 15 Pro Max does not survive my durability test, which means it's time for the big boy lighter. The PVD coating is already an imitation blue, which would make any actual bluing of the titanium frame very difficult to see. But if we sand it down and expose some bare titanium, we might be able to see if Apple's grade 5 reacts the same way as my grade 5. That's some pretty good looking brushed titanium.
Vole, to je tortura, tohle video je tortura, legit jenom tortura.
Still not sure why it takes Apple 14 hours. I'm using a MAP gas torch, which I think, along with burning my desk, is actually lighting some of the titanium dust on fire. You can see the sparks glow white as they sputter away from the phone. Now, the titanium itself could probably handle the heat, but the screen and the phone circuitry, not so much. The torch definitely accomplishes what my lighter could not, and if we look super close at the iPhone frame, we can see it start to change colors from the heat. Apple is indeed using real titanium. Is it grade 5 though? I do have ways of finding out. I think it's getting kinda hot in here. Now, everyone knows the whole point of getting a new iPhone is so that everyone knows you have a new iPhone. Hiding it in a black plastic case would wholly and entirely defeat the purpose. And wow, side note, natural titanium is the move for sure. However, getting a transparent case to show off your phone is dangerous, since most clear cases are made of thermoplastic polyurethane, which when exposed to ultraviolet radiation,
tak to se nekoupím.
Undergoes the irreversible process of photooxidation. Sunlight makes clear cases turn yellow. So on the off chance you ever do go outside, you won't have a clear case anymore. Enter my channel sponsor Dbrand. Dbrand has inexplicably found a way to defeat the sun with their never yellowing, completely transparent...
Kámo, jaký smooth přechod do sponzorovaného segmentu, jak chytře to tam je daný. Actually.
Ghost case, and they're offering free replacements if it ever does yellow, which is pretty brave of them. The best part is the Ghost case is also completely compatible with my teardown skin. You can keep your own phone from getting absolutely wrecked like
What?
compatible with my teardown skin.
WTF?
You can keep your own phone from getting absolutely wrecked like mine with the link down in the description. Now, I pride myself on being extremely thorough, and I'd be amiss if we let this golden opportunity to
What?
pride myself on being extremly thorough.
Já jsem myslel nejdřív, že to je kryt, pak sundal ten kryt, já říkám, on ho fakt rozdělal. A potom, takhle, to bylo úplně horská dráha, co to bylo?
And I'd be amiss if we let this golden opportunity to check the back glass of the regular iPhone 15 Pro for similar structural deficiencies as its larger counterpart. With some very strong dents in the back.
Přestaň to dělat.
Nothing happens. Flipping the phone over the front,
už ne.
again, nothing happens. The normal-sized iPhone 15 Pro survives and does not have the same fate as the Max. I'm curious to see how thin Apple's titanium layer actually is, and what grade it is. The iPhone 15 Pro Max teardown is going to be quite a bit more destructive than usual. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching. I'll see you around.
Traumatizující. To je hrozný.
On for hours about this material. It's one of the most amazing yet frustrating things in the world to work with. I'm really excited to see how Apple treated the iPhone to this material. And it's actually very innovative, the outer band with the inner being made of aluminum. Now in this video, of course, we're going to test just how much more durable this titanium versus the stainless bands is replacing. Man, I've just been dying to see these. We work with titanium a little bit too, and man, it's amazing but frustrating. So I really want to know how they did it. Apparently they used 3D printing technologies to make the base.
Kamo, ať to takhle vole, ta krabička má tak hezký otevírání, musíš pomaličku každou stranu, máš to hezky odlepí, oni to vždycky stranují s tím papírem.
Efficiently, and then they mill the chassis. I didn't even look at this in the Apple store because I wanted to see it in person. Okay, those bands, the rings here, just fantastic. Wow. And the way that the curved edges feel in your hand, I think that might even influence this test. The fact that it's not as jagged. I love it. The color is just beautiful. Weight-wise, yeah, this thing seems considerably lighter, even though it's only 8% lighter versus the 14 Pro Max. That's also going to be a factor here. The color they got right, though, wow. And that's the titanium black. There's only so much you can do with a physical vapor deposition coating. Ooh, nice. So that's actually quite close to the...
Dobrý, to jsme viděli. Tak ukáž crash test.
Fantastic, but natural takes the cake this year. So in customary fashion, let's go through a series of drops you might encounter in your day-to-day, starting from waist height, head height, and then we've got even taller if we need, if this titanium proves that durable. Because we epoxied the floors, I needed a surface top that we'd find pretty much anywhere in your garage. This is a solid slab of concrete, and surrounding it is the very material that forms the 15 Pro's titanium. Bonus shot in case I miss. All right, let's start from the waist height with the 15 Pro Max, 8% lighter, in 3, 2, 1. That even sounds different. The 15 Pro, 3, 2, 1. It has a metallic ding to it now. So the prognosis, wow, that comes off pretty easily. Just from one drop, I can tell you it's not as resilient as stainless. I mean, it survived. Waist height on the side. Now let's go to the back side. These lenses protrude a little less now, but the 15 Pro Max has...
Tady z té video přesně pro ty lidi, kteří mě hejtili za to, že si chci koupit kryt, ty vole. To je přesně pro ně.
A tetraprism inside for a 5 times optical zoom, which may be more fragile. And that one. In 3, 2, 1. That's it, huh? Wow. That was quite short. First impact, either in the corner or the lens here. Apple didn't make that it was stronger than the 14 Pro Max, but they do claim it is the strongest glass in a smartphone, and glass, of course, breaks. This is not completely smooth, and the 15 Pro. Here we go, in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's pretty repeatable. Also a corner shot. Yeah, that sucks. I expected a little bit better. This is the first time in any drop test video
teď displejem.
that both have cracked on impact on the first drops. Here we go, face down in 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Okay. That one has survived. Bit of glass that just came out. Titanium, it's got some scoring on it. So when this scratches, it shows to a new degree. I wouldn't say it's rough, but the finish PVD does come off. 15 Pro Max also survives. Tiny micro crack here, a little bit of delamination.
Aspoň něco, ty vole.
Still pretty impressive. Took that brunt, this corner impact, and survived. Face ID does work, and the Tetra Prism 5x zoom flawlessly. All right, let's continue to head height. Try and do this as accurately as possible on the side. In 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that was my fault. The 15 Pro Max did survive. Gotta give it to them. You cannot help but agree based on these. Ooh, that was 1. In 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that was my fault. The 15 Pro Max did survive. Gotta give it to them. You cannot help but agree based on these few drops. It is the strongest glass in a smartphone, given you drop it correctly. This probably might have survived had I not messed up. But what's a drop test without human error? Not that these were ever super scientific to begin with. Let's see if we can get one of these lenses to crack. 2, 1. Oh, nice spin. And in 3, 2, 1. Lenses have survived. Pretty dang impressed with the structure here. Also new on the 15s is the fact that you can open it from the backside.
Ty vole, jak je to rozjebaný.
Like you could on the 14s, meaning this is no longer a $500 to $600 repair. It's $200 officially from Apple for the rear, that is. 15 Pro Max is still chugging along. Pretty sure the next drop is gonna destroy the display. Let's see if the 5x is still working. Looks like it is. Pretty dented in. Definitely scratch is easier than stainless steel. At this point, all we have remaining is the 15 Pro Max glass, the lenses, which have miraculously somehow not cracked.
Tak je to správně. Ne, není to správně. What the fuck?
And I want to see if we can get any sort of deformation out of the titanium chassis. I mean, what height is it going to take to get something like that? The 15 Pro display has stopped responding. 15 Pro Max, head height, face down in 3, 2, 1. 2, 1. Extra carnage. Wow.
Ty vole, ale drží docela dlouho tady ten.
Okay. So it really is luck of the draw. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. This one hit more of the titanium chassis. The curved surface might be doing some help here. Selfie camera is working. 5x zoom is working, it appears. I think we got a good 15, 16 feet here. Will it dent? 2, 1. Wow, that's how you can tell it's actually titanium. The spark. That was actually pretty cool, gotta say. You won't get that from any other height. And somehow did survive. Wow. iPhone 15 Pro Max, buy it now. It can survive your 15
Jasně, no, vole. Akorát, že tady ten samý Pro Max, když ho vohnul, tak prasknul celý na sračku, vole. Tak co to je?
Drops. And somehow, no deformation in the titanium. It has bent a little bit, actually. Just a little. Selfie camera, all right. 5x zoom. Working, Face ID working. Yeah, it's a little misshapen. 15 Pro Max has survived. And how can you tell that it's real titanium? Like this. So here's an actual piece of titanium. It passes the test. So you get these nice white sparks that continue to burn after they're flicked off the material. Apple Watch Ultra. Oh, yeah, that's real, all right. Yep. And the titanium blue. Okay, maybe this one because it's messed up. Yep, that's real titanium. And our new Gen 5 case, which is going to have titanium lens, buttons, and logo. And we're going to be making accessories for them. Absolutely real deal. All titanium here. Titanium police can rest contented tonight. So the iPhone 15 Pro Max is absolutely everything it was hyped up to be. The titanium is incredible. It even sparks. It's the real deal on the outside, that is. Man, this is so cool. Apple did really well here. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining me for my yearly upload. Yeah, can't wait to start using mine. Peace. And guys, I did want to say I'm sorry for just leaving things as they were. We were really trying to make Phone Rebel work, and Gen 5 is the product I've always wanted to make, and I could give it the time finally to do so. If you guys want to support my company and future videos coming back to YouTube, phonerebel.com. You guys will not be disappointed with our new offering, Gen 5, and no matter what, we always make things right. So we should have Gen 5 coming in by end of month and shipping in the first week of October. Also to the random guy at the Apple Store today that said, we miss you.
Jsem traumatizovaný z tohle videa a jdu se traumatizovat dál, protože to, na co se jdu koukat teďka, je ještě horší, než bylo tohle, takže tak, tohle je ještě horší, to je zase co.
We got a little law enforcement visit here. Everything's okay. The iPhone is actually just booted up. 14 Pro survived with some minor band damage. Okay, 1. Why did these Pros have a propensity to shut off all the time? So, screen protector delaminated. Glass is intact. Face down impact. So our corners, raised corners, took the brunt of that. See if we can get this to boot up again. Yes, this bad boy has booted. We're back in business. All the lenses seem to work. And the Rebel series Gen 4 on the crisp 14 in red. 2, 1. Wow, face down.
To jsou nějaký jeho kryty, jo? Nebo co to je tady to? Jo, od různých značek. Okay, no. Různý. La 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 la